I came to New Jersey in 2018, having never lived in New Jersey. What I knew of New Jersey, I always joke, was like the Molly Pitcher rest stop on the Turnpike if I was going from New York to Philadelphia, or IKEA in Elizabeth. But I didn't really know much about, I hadn't ever lived in the state. I didn't know a ton about the state, except for I knew about this lawsuit. The reason why I wanted to take this risk and relocate my family from another state to join this administration's work here is because of the strength of the transition that New Jersey had undergone. I knew this would be a place where the basics have been taken care of, and it wouldn't be a place where we'd have to focus on putting out a lot of fires all the time. In order to just get the thing to operate on a day-to-day basis. Instead of that, which is what a lot of systems have to do, we had a real opportunity here, and the kind of opportunity that isn't available to that many jurisdictions around the country, to take the work forward into a transformative phase, to really do everything we could to change the way that child welfare works in communities across this state. The fundamentals in place in this state, that's what lets us kind of look, get our heads up above the water and look at where else we could go. And so those fundamentals include very low caseloads, low rate of turnover. The state has long made investments in the kinds of supports to workers to help them make good decisions, things like structured decision-making tools, nurses being available to do medical case management, the SIPSI program that gets substance abuse treatment services in place as soon as humanly possible. I could go on and on, prevention programming, because we have all of that and it's well organized. The building blocks, are there. And when that's the case, you can really look at, when you make a large change, you can't go from the way it was to the way it's going to be one day. It's not like you turn out the lights on the old and you walk into the next room and turn on the lights on the new. There's a good period of time where you have to maintain the old way while you build the new way. When we started to do the Commissioner's Listening Tour, when we started to create the Fatherhood Engagement Council, the Youth Council, when we started to hold regional information sessions, we started to hear different information from people that wasn't coming forward in some of those reviews, and it mattered. So it's like, who gets to design them? Who are those metrics for? What counts as the indicator of quality? I think we started listening to other things beyond the balance. It's not that it does matter whether you do your safety assessments in a timely way, and it does matter whether you use a teaming process, and all of that does matter. But so does race equity, and so does the extent to which family voice is attended to. Those things were missing from that playbook, and they can't stay missing anymore. They just cannot at this point in our state, in our country, and in our field. My hope for the future of child welfare in New Jersey is that this transformation that has gotten launched blossoms even further. If we can become a state where, when a family is first of all, if we can become a state where we've prevented families from sinking into a place of distress, that would be amazing. If we can become a state where, for those few families that get into a place of distress for any variety of reasons, that they feel comfortable asking for help from something that's been built and is available to them in their community, that's a comfortable thing for them to do, that it's not judgmental, that it's responsive to them in a timely way, and it actually meets their needs. And, in a broader, to continue to broaden the understanding of the extent to which things like criminal justice practices, healthcare policies and things interface or have an impact on the child welfare system and vice versa. I think there's a lot already in place in New Jersey of people understanding how each of those disciplines matter for the other, but the economic policies matter for the child welfare caseload, the The housing policies matter for how quickly kids maybe can get out of foster care. Just broadening people's understanding of how extensive the reach of child protection can be if we don't work together, I think is a really important thing to do. I think you've heard us cite the national study that across the country, 1 in 3 children will be called into a child abuse hotline before they turn 18. So while a child welfare system may look like it's a niche thing that doesn't impact that many families, and that might be true on a given day, but over the course of one kid's whole lifetime, that's not true. It's a very pervasive system, and spreading that knowledge to help people understand that the kids and families that we're working with are also the kids and families that are getting served through other systems. I think as we keep doing that, it's going to pay off in ways I couldn't even forecast. I think the opportunities to innovate together are just going to multiply. And then if we have, even rarer need to use foster care placement as a safety intervention, that would be my hope. We're well on our way